bringing you, there'll be valleywebcasting.com on the weeks that it's home Valley games, and then so next week it'll be Valley Dowling, but you'll have to, if you want to watch it, you'll be on valleywebcasting.com to watch that game. So I'll have Valley and Dowling next week. Dowling has a very big contest ahead of them. Valley last year took it to them twice, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. The exact same thing that happened the year before. Both teams. I just work on state championship teams. That's really all it is, Billy. Absolutely.
Well, right now, and I think we're going to get a score update, but last time I checked, the big game other than this one tonight, Valley and Waukee. And last time we checked, Waukee was up 7-0 on Valley. And I know their freshman football coach very well, Tim Eischen, and he's done a great job of developing those players at a freshman level. And when he started really kind of taking over that freshman program, that was about 3 to 4 years ago. And so you're starting to see those kids get to senior year. I think Waukee is going to be a very, very tough team in the next couple of years. They're really on the climb, and so I'm hoping that we get to see some Dowling-Waukee matchups in the next couple of years, because that would be really exciting.
And Scott Carlson, the head coach at Waukee, is a longtime family friend. Known him from Prairie City years and years ago. Went to a few baseball games with him when I was a kid. So Scott always gives me a hard time when he finds out what I'm doing with certain football teams. Oh, come on now, Paul. Come on. I'm like, hey. When Waukee starts doing broadcasts, we can talk.
Absolutely, and like I said, they've done a great job building that program up. Best of luck to them.
All right, it's last score, Waukee 7, Valley 3. That's in the second quarter. Ames leads Des Moines East 28-7. Johnston over Des Moines Lincoln 17-15 at the half. Roosevelt over Hoover 14-7. That's in the first half. We're ready to begin quarter number 3. Paul Yeager here alongside Billy Battistone at Valley Stadium. Glad that you could be wherever you may be around the world. Gorgeous night for high school football. The lights have taken full effect. The sun has gone behind those clouds and over the horizon. We have a dark night sky. Twilight, as you like to call it, but I don't see Christian Stewart anywhere, so we'll just stop at that. Southeast Polk will get the football to start the second half. And it's a kickoff, and it goes near the Dowling sideline and out of bounds, so it'll come out to the 35-yard line. So that's one way to keep the ball out of Beam's hands.
Absolutely, and as a special teams coach, we've joked about it, but there are a lot of college teams that have talked about doing that as well. Just kicking the ball out of bounds and giving the team at the 35 instead of risking the big return until a team picks up on it, then they'll make you re-kick it. But I think Southeast Polk's going to be happy to take it at the 35 and get their offense back on the field.
Really? They do those kind of things
intentionally?
Absolutely.
And we've seen a lot of high school coaches start to do it. Kick the ball out of bounds, especially with an ineffective kicker, not the right personnel on kickoff teams. It's starting to pick up, but teams usually catch on.
Starcevich has the ball to start. He sends a man in motion from the far side of the near side. Starcevich looks right, throws left, caught, and hit right as he catches the football. And it's going to be caught by Cody Heiler. And Heiler goes backwards.
And what a great read by the Dowling Catholic corner. He saw the quick screen. I couldn't catch a number, but saw the quick screen and read it perfectly before the other receiver could block him. That's exactly how you want to play that.
Mad to see the tackle. And I gave my statistics to the radio crew, but Hawk's really the only one you need to know. 179 yards receiving on 5 catches, 2 touchdowns. The third one was by Dowell. It's a handoff to Beam. Beam gets to the original line of scrimmage and then one up to about the 37-yard line where the Maroons make the stop there. Reed Flood. It's been fun to watch Floods play over the years, and I know that many loyal longtime Dowling fans know that there's been basically a flood every other year.
Yeah, and Reed is definitely one of the best overall kids on this Dowling Catholic football team. Does a ton with the school, ton of service, really a stand-up Catholic and a stand-up member of the community.
Ball at the 37. Starcevich is running for his life, throws the football off his back foot, and it's going to be intercepted by the Maroons at the 50. Pass is picked off at midfield. And I believe the interception was made by Joey Miller, number 32. He's surrounded by a bunch of Maroons. That is one way to start. Starcevich was running for his life on that play.
Absolutely, and that was a tough throw. Again, we talked about it during the break. Get pressure on him. Starcevich felt the pressure, tried to throw across his body. It got tipped. We saw the exact same thing happen with Ryan Boyle in the first half. On the run, just didn't get enough air under the pass. It was tipped. It fell right into the hands of the safety, and that's a great way to start the second half for Dowling Catholic.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. 21-12. Dowling leads Southeast Polk. Dowell gets the handoff up the middle, and Dowell is hit basically at the line of scrimmage. Good initial rush there by that mysterious Southeast Polk player.
Yeah, we got to find out who that kid is because he has been all over the field making plays. And again, I think he's lining up at an outside linebacker, a safety type, but he's making plays at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you know you've got an aggressive defender. I think that Tom Wilson and Craig McLean and that offensive coaching staff is going to notice that, try to maybe take advantage of that.
Southeast Polk trying to play defense. They're going to go to Dowell again. Dowell up to about the 42-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and long. Pick up 2. It'll be 3rd and 7. Ball to the 42.
And we're going to see the first 3rd and long attempt. And it's going to be interesting to see how Dowling handles these situations. With a 2-score game, you don't want to be too risky, but it's too soon to take the foot off the gas, as they like to say.
Oh, absolutely. Can't do that yet. Boyle looks right. Now he's going to have to run the football, tuck it, and he won't get anywhere close to the first down. He's going to be brought back at the line of scrimmage. Looked like the tackle was Sam Wilkins there, the big defensive lineman. I'll tell you, there's not been a lot of plays made up by that defensive line. Dowling's been doing a good job getting to that secondary.
No, their offensive line has been great, and like we talked about earlier, if you can get to that second line of Southeast Polk's linebackers, you can really have some big plays, but it's you got to block the first 4 before you get to the next 3. So, but the offensive line, a lot of credit. They've been playing a great game so far.
Matthew Hawk's done it all on the receiving end. Now he gets a chance to actually punt the football, what he's going to Arizona State to do. He just steps and throws and puts a high kick, but it's kind of short. Looks like it's going to come down at about the 15. Takes a Southeast Polk bounce, and a good athletic play to come back and stop that from going any further. Making that play was Matt Whipple. Oh, Matt, your grandma, Bev, I'm going to miss that. We don't get the cookies as much on this side. She's a big fan of the radio. She can listen to the broadcast, but Bev Whipple, one of the greatest people I've met in the Dowling Catholic family, and so if you know Bev, you know what I'm talking about. Kept Dave fed for an entire year. 1st and 10 from the 24. Someday, Billy, you'll find that Bev. Handoff goes up into the middle, and still on his feet is Jordan Beam. He was in a bunch of traffic and finally gets taken down at the 24. After no gain, but he ran a long way.
And that was Jake Luton, the junior linebacker for Dowling Catholic. He was the defensive rock last year for that sophomore team. They really had high expectations for him coming out. I know Adam Jack, the linebacker coach, extremely high on Luton. He's a great kid. And you saw his athletic ability, his playmaking ability right there.
No gain. 8:21 to play. Dowling leads 21-12. Starcevich is going to throw it across the middle, tries to thread it between a bunch of traffic. His intended receiver was, you guessed it, Beam, but Sherinian was there. Also,
and that was Michael Palmy.
As I say, that looked like it looked like Palmy,
and that's a different look that Dowling will do. It's more of an invert. They call it a sky look, and they're going to bring that safety down, and they're going to drop. It's almost more of like that old Tampa 2 look, and Palmy's the perfect athlete for that look. He can get back in coverage and play the deep because he's athletic enough.
We're at the 8:14 mark. Clock stopped on the incomplete. 3rd and 10, long conversion, but they can easily do it, and they do it. Oh, nice pass, nice catch there by Starcevich. Finds Phil Velez at the 36-yard line. Moves the chains. They needed 10. They got 12.
What a catch by Velez. He's running on the out route. Starcevich throws it just a tad behind him, but Velez is able to make the adjustment right off the hands of the corner and hauls that in for a first down. It's a big catch for Southeast Polk.
Boy, just when you thought, you had the couple of plays that just didn't go your way, and then all of a sudden you get out of that hole on a 13-yard gain.
Well, that's what happens when you got a Division I recruit at quarterback. You're never out of it, and one bad play, come right back with a good one.
Beam gets the handoff on the jet play, runs right into a host of maroon tacklers at the 35. Flood is there. Palmy, and also one that I haven't said in a while, Alex Kramer.
Yeah, and Kramer making a good play there on the edge. Again, with those defensive linemen, they're getting penetration, but they got to break down. You don't want to run past the play. They get about a 1-yard window once they get through the line of scrimmage. Break down, make the play, and that's exactly what Kramer did.
Is the jet play the accurate way to call that one? I mean, yes. He's in motion and he's going around that side, at least from the layperson, that's what it looks like. Starcevich looks to the left, throws back to the right. Beam is caught, and then catches the football and then caught from behind. And nice play, Michael Sherinian.
And Grant Boston dialing up the safety blitz on that play, bringing some pressure off the right side. And I think Starcevich saw it, got the ball out quick, but good pursuit by Dowling Catholic defense, making the play. First guy there, got to wrap up and hold him up. Next guy in, make the tackle.
Sherinian's kind of playing more of that cornerback role, right, this year, not the linebacker role. I mean, does that show his versatility? Normally when you get older, you move closer to the ball, not farther from the ball.
Absolutely. They've realized in the last year what an athlete Sherinian is, and he's so versatile. It's a nightmare for an offensive coordinator.
3rd and 13. Starcevich rolls to the left, backwards throw. It's caught at the 25 and then stopped. And I believe that's Sherinian again.
He is all over the field. What a read. What a read by Michael Sherinian. That's the quarterback boot. Starcevich takes it left. It's the back screen to the right. And if Sherinian doesn't make that tackle, that's a 30-yard gain for Southeast Polk. But what a play for Michael Sherinian.
I just can't say it enough how fun it is to watch him play.
And he's such a quiet kid, too. That's what cracks me up about. He plays so loud, but he's such a quiet, reserved kid.
That play was a loss of 4. And that punt was almost blocked by Hawk, but a great punt gets away by Southeast Polk, taken at the 38-yard line, and it's taken. Oh, still on his feet. Oh, look at that play. Luke DeVenny made a nice move right in front of Coach Wilson. Say, watch this, Coach. I want to play a little bit more. Luke gets all the way down to the 40-yard line. That's a return of 24 yards.
And great starting field position here for the Maroons. You're kind of at that halfway mark of the third quarter. You're looking for, to pad that lead. Give your defense a little bit more breathing room. And if they can punch one in here, that could be huge for Dowling Catholic tonight.
Great field position. Ball's at the 39-yard line. I believe that's the best starting field position the Maroons have had, and they've had some very good starting field position tonight.
Absolutely, and that comes from good defensive stops. Don't let up the first down. Make them punt from their own end zone, or at least their own half the field, and you're going to get good field position.
Boyle has it, keeps it, runs to the left, and then throws out, keeps it, and then his feet are thrown out from underneath him to about the 39-yard line. So maybe gets a yard to the 38.5. So run by Boyle. Denny O'Grady's going to give him one. I like it how Denny gives us play-by-play at the same time. We could just listen to him.
Yeah, and he's great. He is fantastic to the Dowling Catholic community. He calls all the sports. He started doing wrestling for us this year, and he's great.
You also do some wrestling coaching. Did I get that right?
I do. So I'm a jack of many trades.
Not just social studies.
No,
Boyle,
sir.
It's fake to Dowell. He's going to roll out on the boot. He's got a wide open Christian out of the backfield. And Christian catches it at the 30 and adds another 5 onto that. Nate Christian up to the 25-yard line. The fullback.
And that's a great play call. That's one of the things that Southeast Polk loves to do is get that fullback into space. And Dowling Catholic kind of taking a page out of that playbook. You kind of forget about that fullback back there. If you got an athletic fullback like Christian who can get to the flat, make a catch, that's a real big mismatch for a defense. Very tough to cover.
Third quarter action. Maroons send Hawk in motion, fake it to him, go back up the middle to Dowell. Dowell makes a move up over his right, then cuts underneath to the left and gets across the 20, inside that orange-lined 20-yard line, into the 19, a gain of 6.
And you see the no-huddle offense, the way Dowling likes to run it. It's not necessarily hurried up, but the play clock hasn't even started yet. They already have a play call into, the 25-second clock isn't even run. They're already on the line of scrimmage.
Boyle under center, hands it off to Dowell. Dowell is caught and then tripped up. Nice defensive play for Southeast Polk. Luke Starcevich. Man, those Starcevich, their dad's one of the assistants. Kyle is just playing great all the time.
And they are everywhere. They are everywhere on offense, on defense, on special teams. We say that name a lot when you call a Southeast Polk game.
Good, clean program. Intense would be a way Dave and I would describe last year's game at Pleasant Hill. Tell that story in a moment. Boyle handoff goes up to Dowell, and Dowell needed one, and he is not going to get it. It's going to have to be a field goal. Good stop by the defense. Getting off the pile last is Brandon Johnson. Johnson's been on a lot of plays.
Yes, he has. He has been a consistent playmaker for the Southeast Polk defense, making plays when they need him. That's a huge play. 3rd and 4, they're driving, and now Dowling Catholic, it looks like Tom Wilson's going to keep his offense on the field rather than turn it over to the sophomore kicker, McClellan. He's going to take his chance and try to get 2 yards here.
But I'm seeing some arms in the air like they might be confused.
And I think they're going to let this run down, and then they're going to take a timeout because they're not signaling in a play. I think they're going to think this one over.
10 seconds, 5 seconds on the play clock, and it escapes that way. Let's take a look at some other scores here. As our score is 21-12, 3:19. Valley leads Waukee 10-3 in the second. Okay. And Ames leads Des Moines East 28-7. Johnston still in front of Lincoln 17-15. Urbandale in front of Fort Dodge 7-6. Indianola leads Oskaloosa 14-13. Roosevelt 14. Hoover 7. Marshalltown leads Pella 7-0. So Marshalltown had a lot of hype coming into the beginning of the season. Pella, a very good 3A team. I know a kid that's on that Pella squad. They were very excited to get a chance to play Marshalltown. Bishop Heelan leads East 14-0. Interesting ball game so far there, Billy.
Yeah, and we're going to have to apologize for our Waukee Valley score. Apparently we had that one mixed up, so it was actually 7-3 Valley over Waukee, and then Valley punches in another touchdown. So 14-3, still an interesting game, but yeah, absolutely the Marshalltown-Pella game, one that you definitely got to keep an eye on. Marshalltown on the schedule this year for Dowling Catholic, and I think that's going to be a game that we shouldn't overlook. You know, all the hype about the Dowling Catholic schedule this year of the first 5 games, that's going to be a big one later in the season.
All right, here comes Boyle to the line, 4th and 2. Powerhouse backfield in motion goes Hawk. It's the give, it's the fake. Oh, they're going to go Boyle, and they read that one the entire way. Stop behind the line of scrimmage, Cody Brown. He saw that one coming all the way, or at least he was spying on Boyle. Boyle, a loss of almost 9 yards all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and that was an interesting play call. You know, they had the jet motion going across. They opted not to hand that off. Then they went play action with the halfback up the middle. It was going to be Boyle on the keep around to the right, and they just had that keyed up. And that's the first real life we've seen from Southeast Polk since the touchdown. That's the first time we've seen some action from their crowd. Their student section's getting into it. So you got to be careful here. If you're Dowling Catholic, you want to get them off the field quickly. 1st
and 10 at the Southeast Polk 28-yard line. Starcevich, 2 steps front, going deep. They're going for the home run ball, and they have the receiver. He was beat. It was just too long of a pass. Velez, he had a step on Devaney.
Yeah, and Devaney got a little caught looking in the backfield, I think. He was a little slow on his zone turn, but he worked hard to get back over the top. I think if Starcevich delivers a perfect ball, I think that's a touchdown. But, again, he needed the perfect ball.
Where do you think Starcevich goes? What type of offense do you see him fitting in as a
I think a spread offense is perfect for him because he can run the football. He's not showing it as much tonight. It's his first game back, but with the arm strength he's got and his quickness, I think he needs to go to a spread team.
All right, they send the Tate Christensen, the tight end. Haven't seen much of him tonight, but it's the toss to Sanford on the left side. The toss sweep gets to about the number 20, the number 30 on the far side. One of the last guys off the pile, Matt Mallacy. And also Jake Newton. Jake Luton, not Newton. Luton.
And a 3rd and 7 for Southeast Polk again. They've gotten into a couple of these long 3rd down conversions. And, I think eventually you've got to get Starcevich rolling with the football and get him well protected. If you're Dowling Catholic, you bring some pressure here. Force Starcevich to make a perfect throw.
Heiler comes to the near side. So does Jordan Beam. Look for those two guys. Starcevich looks left. He's going to throw left. He's going down the left sideline. He's got his receiver again. Velez had another step on Devaney again. And I'll tell you, that's going to be one thing they're going to have to work on, I'm guessing, in the off week.
Yeah, and that was a better thrown ball by Starcevich that time. I thought the Southeast Polk receiver, Velez, was going to be able to haul that one in. It looked from our angle like it kind of went through his hands. I don't hate the play call, though. You had a shot. You took it early. 3rd and 7, you took another shot down the field. But, that's what Dowling Catholic needed. After that 4th down stop, get their offense off the field, get Southeast Polk's offense off the field, get your offense back out there.
Maroons will line up in punt defense. Back deep is Chase Dowell on the near side. Devaney is on the far side. And the punt is the quarterback. I'm sorry, that's not the quarterback. That's Keaton Babcock. Keaton takes it by Devaney at the 35 to the 40 to the 42-yard line. Nice tackle on that far sideline. before he can get very far. And at the 2:17 mark, it's Dowling 21, Southeast Polk to 12. We remember we're webcasting live worldwide at dowlingwebcasting.com. And also want to thank Skeffington's Formal Wear, Bob Oliver Heating and Cooling, Smith Promotions, Nationwide Office Care, Knapp Properties, The Dana Company, and Bozen the Florist, making this broadcast possible.
And I think you need to go back. If you're Tom Wilson and Craig McLean, the offensive minds of this Dowling Catholic team, I think we want to go back to those short passes we saw in the first quarter. Get Ryan Boyle settled back down. He was on a roll there. He kind of lost a step in that fourth down conversion. Let's go back to some handoffs, quick passes, quick runs, and get him going.
Boyle keeps it. He's at the 40 running for his life. He's going to be tackled by the mysterious Southeast Polk player, number 4. But he's going to be stopped by Evan German.
And what a hard run by Ryan. You know, that's what really impressed the Dowling Catholic coaches last year. As a true freshman going up against the Ankeny defense, really just put his shoulder down and ran hard. And you see it again, he is never going to slide. You're never going to see Ryan Boyle avoid a hit. He loves that. He feeds off that. And that's why I think everybody at Dowling is so excited that we're going to have him for another 2 years after this.
Ball's up to the 43. Pick up a 1. Boyle, it's going to be the reverse. They're going to go to Hawk. I'm sorry, that's not Hawk. That is Mac Robinson. No, that is Hawk. I thought it was a 7. Sorry, it was Matthew Hawk. Hawk gets up to about the 48, pickup of maybe 5. Couple of scores here. Valley scores on an interception. They're up 24-7 with 5:59 left until halftime. That game's at Waukee, and it's at the end of the half. Marshalltown 14, Pella 0. Indianola and Oskaloosa. It's Indianola 14, Oskaloosa 13. Prairie City, Monroe, and Knoxville tied at 14.
And that's a game that a lot of Dowling people are interested in.
They always are.
With Greg Bonnet as the head coach for PCM and a former Dowling coach as the head coach for Knoxville. That's a good Dowling rivalry.
Boyle makes a fake, and it doesn't fool anybody, including Southeast Polk. Boyle doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and 4.
And here comes the punt team, and you got to play field position here.
You have to kick it, right?
Absolutely, especially after that 4th and 1 attempt. You definitely want to play the field position. You've been stopping Southeast Polk's offense. Get them pinned down. I think they're going to angle this one for about the 20-yard, probably aiming for the 20 numbers on the field, hoping it takes a quick bounce to the left, pin somebody deep.
Number 4 is Drew Mikesell. Got to give him his credit. Mikesell has been doing a great job on defense for Southeast Polk all night. Thanks for the crew helping us out on the broadcast. Hawk rolls to the left. Soccer pooches that left one. Gets a gorgeous kick. Unfortunately, it's about 20 yards out of bounds.
And
it's just a matter where the referees mark it out. And it looks like it's at the 35-yard line, so not really a good kick here. 15, 25, maybe 20, 17 yards at most.
Yeah, and you can see Barney Monroe, one of the special teams coaches for Dowling Catholic, kind of walking down there asking the official if he would keep walking. That's a tough call for a high school official to see exactly where that ball went out of bounds. But from our angle, definitely took a hard kick left. So, not bad field position for Southeast Polk. But, again, Southeast Polk's got to get into a rhythm. They've got to get a couple first downs here. They've taken 2 long shots on the field that haven't worked. And now you're going to see empty backfield.
42 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Sanford gets it on the jet, going to the left side, trying to get to the outside, and he's tripped up once. Reed Flood comes in. I believe that's Sherinian over there, or was that Flood? Flood finished it off. It was Sherinian. I'm sorry, it was Palmy who made the first stop.
Right, and that was a great play. And again, Reed Flood flying to the football, and that's what Dowling Catholic drills every day in practice. Double whistle drill. Get 11 hats to the ball, and that's why you do it.
14 seconds to go. Southeast Polk wants to get yet another play in here before the end of the quarter, if they can. 7 seconds, 6. They got to move. Play clock won't expire until the quarter clock. Starcevich, 2 seconds, 1 second. He just gets it off before the end of the quarter. They're going to come to the near side of the field. It's going to be overthrown and out of bounds. His intended receiver was Cody Heiler. Incomplete, and that will end the third quarter. Dowling Catholic 21, Southeast Polk